Holy fear and loathing in Las Vegas, Batman! Tiki here, and I have been watching through each and every episode of Batman the Animated Series for the first time. And alas, we have come to the end of our run of Batman-centric Justice League episodes. Dragon, tell them why we're here.
Well, you see, folks, long ago I made a vow to educate Tiki in the ways of Batman the Animated Series, serving as his spirit guide to Gotham in a way. But now Batman has become part of a bigger universe, and the mission goes on as we enter the greater DCAU.
And tonight we're tackling wild cards.
Yeah.
And Dragon, I gotta tell you, you know what? We did have to delay this a little bit. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of glad that we did, because I got a couple more rewatches under my belt, and it made me appreciate part one a little bit more. This thing definitely has a really good part two, and I think basically part two is pretty much why we're covering it from a Batcave point of view, because it has all the good Batman stuff in it. You know what? I've got to be honest with you, Dragon. Part one, except for the whole we've got a ticking clock thing, that's kind of neat, and it's a little bit of like a Joker perspective episode. Dragon, I'm just gonna come out and say I really don't like the gang in this episode. They just seem pretty thrown together, except for Ace. Ace is really cool. She's a classic kind of like DCAU original villain. I'm assuming she's an original.
Sorry, this is the thing. So the Royal Flush Gang is going to be interesting once we get to the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't like any of the others. I don't know. I kind of just think all the others are sort of superfluous. And Dragon, I'm sorry, just because they're on the mind, they kind of remind me of the stupid biker gang from freaking Boba Fett.
Oh, come on. That is not remotely close. Come on.
Just in terms of like, hey, we're punk teenagers, but we're also a found family.
All right, come on. That is not not remotely you're out of your mind.
I know. I'm just...
You've been staring at that girl for too long, Tiki.
Oh, God. All right, I will admit I'm being silly with that, but they do kind of drag down part one for me a little bit. The thing I do like about part one is the perspective of it all, how we get into the, kind of the different camera angles and everything. But part two definitely brings it home and has some really classic Batman stuff and some classic DC animated universe surrealism to go along with it. So, yeah, I'm definitely a fan. Dragon, one thing out of curiosity, when we went over the Jon Stewart stuff for Black History Heroes, did you send me the clip at the end of this episode by any chance? Have I seen it?
There's a chance that I probably did, because the very end of this episode basically is like the big setup for.
It's pretty definitive, yeah.
That's the thing. This ends on a very huge Green Lantern Hawkgirl moment in the relationship, which basically is like this episode is right smack dab before. This is like the end of this episode essentially is the prelude in the Starcross, just to show you that hey, Green Lantern and Hawkgirl are officially an item. So when things get challenging in Starcross, well, we'll know why.
All right, so with that in mind, Dragon, let's transition into some background. What do you got?
Okay, so Wild Cards. So this was part one was directed by the great Butch Lukic, who did Secret Origins parts 1 and 2. Did Injustice for All, which was the big Joker introduction for Justice League, and Only a Dream part 1, which is the great Dr. Destiny episode that we talked about. We love Bill Atherton in that one. Had a lot of great Batman getting coffee stuff in it. It was more part 2, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the other director on part 2 was the great Dan Reba, kind of the Dan Scanlon of the DCAU, the man, the working man, kind of worked his way up. He did Joker's Millions, during New Adventures, again a Joker episode, and did Secret Origins parts 1 and 3, which we've talked about. The writer on this, the great, I love Stan Berkowitz. I love when this man pens an episode. I love me some Burke. So, Berkey. So Stan Berkowitz, he did Injustice for All, he did A Better World, and Only a Dream. Again, this guy writes all the great episodes of Justice League, in my opinion. How do we make
it? Definitely feels like Only a Dream with the surrealist stuff, for sure.
Berkowitz Stan Berkowitz brings some of the great concepts. This is the guy behind Never Fear. You remember Never Fear, the whole like reverse fear toxin thing from New Adventures.
Sure,
He
yeah.
brings all the great heady concepts. That's where I think the whole ticking clock and the big reveal comes from. But the other writer in this episode is a huge writer in the DCAU, particularly for Justice League Onward. The great and dearly missed Dwayne McDuffie, who again the whole crux of the Hawkgirl Green Lantern relationship. Dwayne McDuffie. It's a very personal story for him. Man loves a good romance story, but additionally, he plays the heavy keys very well. He did the Hereafter episode we just talked about. He was the guy who loved Vandal Savage and kept bringing him back, and he did Maid of Honor, a little bit of Wonder Bats in there. McDuffie's a lover and a fighter and a good friend. All right, so studio worked on this. Dong Yang. Sorry, not Dong Yang. Sorry, wishful thinking. Dong Wu, actually. Dong Wu, who did Tabula Rasa, and which I believe you really liked, and A Better World. Which, believe it or not, Dong Wu, apparently not the. There are some off-model bits with the Joker if you really look here and there. Like keeping Joker on model was a lot better than he was with.
What's funny is I actually noticed some off-model bits with Hawkgirl more than anything else.
What do you mean?
Some side face shots were a little weird.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Dong Wu does good work, I think, on the whole. But that's the thing. They always caught this when they rewatched the episodes. Like, yeah, but still, you guys are nuts.
As far as Joker goes, Dragon, if I'm being completely honest with you, off model or not, I think it looks really good in this episode. Especially like the blue meanie smile. I think he looks very on brand with the blue meanie look this episode.
Oh, he absolutely does, and that's the big thing with they use the rebound look that was basically done for Static Shock and Return of the Joker. Basically, every time they're going to reuse Joker, they basically combined the pinhole weird inversed eyes shot from New Adventures, and they mix it with the classic Jokers. It's kind of a mix of the two, which turned out really well. So that thing is, even if he is off model, he's still going to look really good. So they're kind of insulated against that sort of thing. So like if you really look, Joker sometimes has some extra lines on his face, but ultimately still looks pretty darn good. So again, last adventure before Starcrossed happens. This is also one more big Joker use in the DCAU before Return of the Joker. I mean, chronologically. So the thing is, Tiki, so Return of the Joker happened in 2000. We're kind of past 2000 when Justice League happened. So technically, this is the last appearance of the Joker ever in the DCAU. Just in terms of things coming out when they're coming out. Which is why there's kind of like a bit of a definite kind of moment at the end of this with the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So again, retroactively also, as I've kind of teed up here and there, this is retroactively a hugely important episode in conjunction with Return of the Joker. We secretly set up,
I kind of figured that, yeah.
Yeah, a couple big things happen here. So Cadmus had not been like a thing yet. Cadmus is something that comes into play in Justice League Unlimited. So they had no idea they were going to make that show. So in the background, it's like, hey, how can we make Cadmus bigger and better? Let's go back into some of the episodes throughout Superman the Animated Series and Justice League, and let's tie a few plot lines into Cadmus. So Royal Flush Gang, byproduct of Cadmus. Joker stopping by Cadmus, he might swipe some technology that's going to have some ramifications in Osei Return of the Joker. So you see where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so again, the intent on this was most likely, okay, we're going to end the show. We loved using the Joker. We were not able to use him nearly as much as we wanted to. So what's a story we could really make like a full-on Joker story versus like, hey, Joker and Lex are buddies. Let's throw him in Justice for All. So they basically, okay, let's do a Joker story, but Joker really can only go toe-to-toe with Batman. How can Joker contend with the whole Justice League idea? Let's put him with the Royal Flush Gang, playing card gimmicks. Joker and the Royal Flush Gang so very rarely ever intersected in comics, so much so it's embarrassing. Because it just seems like a no-brainer. Joker and playing cards, right?
Sure.
Right. Anyway, so one last thing to mention here, then we'll get going. I notice we have some comments, which we should probably also get a shout-out as well. This is kind of a secret Teen Titans crossover, if you noticed.
Yeah, I did not really notice that, but Atomic Beast definitely points it out. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
really know my Teen Titans outside of the show. If I'm being totally honest.
well. Don't feel bad because it's a crossover in that all the entire voice cast of the Teen Titans voices the Royal Flush King. That's the crossover. It's kind of like an inside
Oh,
joke.
okay, that makes sense. That makes
That's all the
sense. All
crossover we're
right,
talking about.
that's pretty meta.
It
Yeah,
was kind of
yeah.
like again, it's a very meta episode for many other reasons, but it was like,
Right,
hey,
right.
because yeah, at this time, it's like the only thing stealing Justice League's thunder is Teen Titans. It's like, wait a minute, it's like, hey, Bruce, did you do that Teen Titans show? No, that's the other guys. Oh, sorry. So many people kept crediting
Right,
Bruce
right.
Timm and company for
I
that
do
Teen
remember
Titans
those
show
days.
because it was good. This is back in Teen Titans wasn't a marred
Of course,
property.
of course.
Yeah, so again, it was kind of like, okay, well, we can't put him in the show. They put a few references here and there, like throughout the show, but they could never put him in the show. So it's like, okay, let's put the voice
That's
cast
like
for
the
it.
crossover that everyone wanted, but we could never have.
Exactly. The closest they ever got to it is they put one of the Teen Titan characters in an episode because they actually found like a loophole that they could. That was the closest they ever got to it. Anyway, and again, I already mentioned the Joker factoid, so we're all caught up. So, then, any other comments we should chat up before we just get down to it?
Yeah, well, Tom Beast just says it's the last episode we see of the Joker, the Teen Titan stuff. It's possible Waller is a key player during Justice League, and then
Mhm.
Not John Kelling, says, "I miss Las Vegas."
Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more important thing I should mention because I alluded to this earlier to you. The Royal Flush Gang. So, yeah, the Royal Flush Gang in the DCAU, they made their first appearance in Batman Beyond. See, Batman Beyond had a really great.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
So that's the thing. So this is a retroact yet again already, even before we factor in Cadmus and all that sort of stuff. This is already kind of a retroactive, hey, let's make Batman Beyond even cooler kind of episode where basically Batman Beyond was a really
You know,
cool.
like retroactively, that is pretty cool world building. I'll give you that much.
So essentially, what the deal was is Batman Beyond had a really cool take on the Royal Flush Gang, which is even better than it was in the comics, where it was like, okay, this is a family of kind of elitists who are trying to come from a bloodline of thieves and bank robbers and like high, they rob high society and they style it. It's like a royal family being styled after a royal family of playing cards. Get it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, that's kind of the like these are kind of like wannabe snobs that basically rob their way to the top. Anyway, that's Batman Beyond. So the point being is like it came from a lineage, and Batman had run-ins with them in the past, so they kind of wrote themselves into a corner, saying, "Oh man, we've established this incredibly cool concept, but we're in the future right now. We'll never be able to see Batman come across them in the past. But ergo Justice League." Well, we need Joker to have some muscle, and we set up how cool the Royal Flush Gang is. Let's set up the OG version.
All right, so one more thing I want to mention is the Vegas setting, Dragon, because this is I don't remember. I'm sure it's happened before, but I don't remember many times where we've gone outside of like Gotham and Metropolis and maybe Central City.
Well, I mean, we've gone a little international. Like we went to Paris during that Maids of Honor thing. Went to Casnia. But like Batman is a character rarely whoever goes out of Gotham unless it's important.
Right, right.
Justice League brought Batman more globally. I'll say that much. Batman, as we've established with Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul is usually the farthest Batman ever strayed. With very few exceptions. But you're right, though; it's a very rare thing that we do escape
And you
Metropolis.
know what? I do think I should have left this into my opening thoughts, but I really think that does make this episode stand out. I think it makes it really really dynamic visually.
Oh yeah, for sure. And again, Joker just fits like a glove in Vegas. I love it.
Dragon, I have a question. Like, do you know how accurate the Vegas of the time was? Because I know some things that like I'm pretty sure were never there, like the Nautilus thing, right? Like that's got to be for the show.
Well, you gotta remember, Tiki, some of these things are homages to the casinos. Like, for example, you go
Uh-huh.
to an Egyptian-themed casino. That's styled after the Luxor, I believe. But
Sure, and
they
it's
can't
the
call it the
Sphinx.
Luxor.
It's more like because the Luxor has a Sphinx, but it's not like the main fixture at the
Yeah,
casino. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So that's kind of like the whole. So
Okay.
yeah, there's like homages to like casino design and stuff. In which these are things that I mean, throughout history, Vegas has gone through many revamps, and they've had
Of
gimmick
course, of
hotels, and they
course.
still have gimmick hotels. Just not honestly not as many as they used to have. But they have.
No, unfortunately not. Vegas hotels these days are kind of boring,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
honestly.
In terms of being on the money, I mean, this is roughly. I mean, this is. I think we're in the
This
03
is
to oh
like
04.
probably like the height of like the themed hotel experience in Vegas.
That's the thing. So when I went to Vegas, it was around 04, 05, and
Okay.
that's roughly where this takes place. I think. God, at this point, we're probably in the 03 to oh 04 mark. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think. I think 03 because Just League starts in like. Well, I know. Let's not get sidetracked here. Point being, um, yeah, around this time I could buy it. Yeah, because they're like pirate themed casinos and that sort of stuff. So the Nautilus theme, I could buy it. Yeah, it seems on the money. Just again, they can't like full on like this is entirely Vegas. Like no, it just looks a lot like Vegas.
I'm just saying the Nautilus theme thing, like I would have known about that and it's super cool. And that's like a concept for a bar that I've always kind of wanted. And it was cool to like kind of see like, hey, look, one of my dream bar concepts visualized. Nice.
And not John Kelling again. Apparently, we're still doing this. Not John Kelling says. Not John Kelling says that the JLU finale had another variation of the royal flushing. Again, they tried to pad out the whole.
Yeah, this is really funny about like an old Amanda Waller kind of making a meta reference about like, oh, that's the third or second or third version of the team.
And again, just trying to pad up. Man, we have a really cool, like the best. Folks, let's face it, the best version of Royal Flush Gang hands down is Batman Beyond. They nailed it so perfectly there. If you want the comics accurate one, look at Justice League Doom, like Dwayne McDuffie, to like, okay, this is how they actually look in the comics, and it's pretty darn cool still. But it's just kind of a middle ground here. This is again the point, but to give them credit, this is a very original rendition of like I don't think they had really been like uberly meta, like meta human before, not like fourth wall breaking, just like really meta human.
I guess that's not really. That's kind of what I don't dig about it is that it just, I don't know. It seems very much like okay, and this person has this power and this power, and like I almost kind of would have rather it just been henchmen, like foot soldiers.
Tiki, I agree with you. By the same token, I think that makes the trick all the more, the card trick, if you will, all the more impressive in that, again, Joker's kind of dazzling you and kind of distracting you with, okay, kind of dressed up henchmen, while the important ace up his sleeve, obviously, is the ace up his sleeve the whole time.
Sure, although I mean it was pretty obvious that the ace was going to be important. But
well, that's what I'm saying. We know it was going to be important. But I like that again. It was like okay, just you think there's going to be like a kind of a boss battle, but it's a little bit more than that. But anyway, we're
all right.
Okay, so I guess let's break it down. So part one. So we got
part one's going to go by pretty quick because Batman's pretty much in the background for a lot of it.
Well, Miguel, you got to remember, Tiki, also a big Batman foes in a lot of the episode too. So
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like part two will be the big meat of the conversation. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay, so we got some romantic tension with Hawkgirl and Green Lantern over banking. Yeah, so Batman's basically they're looking at the bank records to give Batman the lead so he can go to the TV executive in Vegas. So the little romantic stuff. Again, I like how we bookend the episode with the whole episode. Like, okay, we open with Hawkgirl and Green Lantern, we end with them. That's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're in Vegas. Batman crashes this ad executive's call. This was always a great opening to me. I wish the episode kind of started here, honestly, but I get why they wanted the whole Hawkgirl Green Lantern wrap around for Starcross that's coming up next.
I mean, it's pretty much the start of the episode. It's close enough to the start of the episode, I think.
So this is just such a great opening where just like Batman interrupted Batman randomly in
Do
Vegas.
You realize you just sold airtime to the Joker?
But there's a really clever reference in this, Tiki, when he says, you sold airtime to Gwynplaine Entertainment. And it's just like, well, you can't
what is that? Because I figured that was something, but I knew it went over my head.
This is a really cool reference, Tiki. Gwynplaine is I believe is the name of the man who laughs and the guy with like the cut grin on his face. The original man who laughs, who is the inspiration behind the Joker.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, it's literally a deep cut, a dual deep cut in the Joker's case. Anyway, so it's a really cute reference there. And it says, yeah, you can't just like you can't let them have it. Like, well, you can't tell me who I can or cannot sell to. Gwynplaine Entertainment is the Joker, which 15 seconds. Oh, God, he's got to make a phone call in 15 seconds. Like, it's like, cut the line.
I like how urgently it switches from like, you can't tell me what to do to cut it off.
It's just the utter panic. And again, it's such an awesome opening where it's like, you think Batman's won just for a millisecond.
But it's like, no, not even close.
They pulled the ad at the last second, but Joker bought airtime on 6 other
I
networks.
love how that's just like a big setup for like Joker is in control this episode. Like he is more in control than we usually see him.
So, yeah, and then Tiki, what I love with that is that essentially it's the way Batman's kind of evolving and kind of growing, one could say growing stronger with the Justice League. Joker has to follow suit. So this is a Joker scheme on a Justice League scale, where this is
Uh-huh.
Joker like, I'm going to take over the airwaves and do like kind of like a laughing fish sort of thing. I'm going to like announce my targets, but he's going massive with this.
Oh,
Not
this
just that.
absolutely reminded me of Laughing Fish for sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's basically taking that plot and then putting it on steroids. For okay, Joker is not just he's going huge. He's going global here. 6 networks and he's in Vegas. This is just like a casino.
I'll give credit to Linkara for pointing this out in his Killing Joke review. But how much better would Killing Joke have been had the wraparound stuff been some sort of variation on Laughing Fish instead of the Barbara stuff?
Could be. Yeah.
You're not into that?
No, I'm into it. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying it ties back into the live TV thing, like the stream kind of thing that they're going for.
No, I mean it could have worked, but it would have been like, hey, there's a whole nother plot here of Laughing Fish. But no, it's still. I mean, it's not bad.
Well, it would have been better than what we got. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. Look, if we just like cut that Batgirl stuff in half, it would have been at least okay. She was Batgirl, and then we crippled her, so we know why she was special. So that's what. Anyway, that was the heart of that idea, and then it went so wrong. Anyway. Okay, so of course Mark Hamill. By the way, here's a weird fun fact. I don't know if you noticed this watching the episode. Did you know? I'm pretty sure this is official. The only episode ever in the entirety of the DCAU where Joker doesn't laugh.
No, I did not catch that. That's interesting.
Doesn't laugh at all. I mean, I rewatched it. I called no, he does not laugh in this at all. I mean, I thought he like chuckled.
It's pretty subtle, but I mean, it's interesting because it's like it shows you how committed he is to like the serious news broadcaster bit.
Oh yeah. So Joker's coming on, and of course the great Mark Hamill again in his mind playing the Joker for the last time in the DCAU. Technically, it's the last he came back after his big Return of the Joker performance for this. Mm-hmm. I know it's heartbreaking to have your favorite shows preempted, but you're getting me instead. Anyway, so and you're getting so much mindless violence and wanton property damage, everything that makes TV great. So stay tuned. You won't believe your eyes. And I love, again, like a classic Joker plot, like a laughing fish, he's giving you clues. He's saying you won't believe your eyes because, when Ace is on the screen, stuff's going to happen. Also, I like the set that he's in too. He's got the set, and I like the Joker. We don't have the Joker theme, but we have like some great Vegas-y kind of like music playing. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun,
yeah, it's very jazzy for sure.
Yeah,
kind of has like an old school kind of Rat Pack vibe to it.
It does, very fitting. My kind of music.
Of course.
All right, so again, so Joker, he kind of lays out the show. He lays out the plot here where there is a time bomb on the Vegas Strip, and it's up to the Justice League to stop him, and only them alone, or else, kablooey. There's like it's 100,000. The base has got hundreds of cameras and cameramen all over the town, basically videotaping them. I mean, you being the reality show fan that you are, what did you think of this plot, Tiki?
You know what's interesting is that it's like it's kind of like half reality show, half game show, half like live news broadcast. I don't know. It's like it's a combination, Dragon. I mean, I did like it. It's just like I can't just nail it down to like, oh, it's definitely a reality show. I don't necessarily think there's a lot of reality show components to it. It's more a parody of live news, to be honest with you.
No, I'm just saying there's like kind of like, you're right, though. It's kind of a little bit of each, though. It's like there's a little bit of reality.
It's like 33 split, I think.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
So, yeah, that was pretty cool, though. I mean, just the whole format.
Just the general structure of it is pretty cool, especially like in part one, you're kind of seeing stuff from like a, like an overview perspective, kind of seeing different perspectives on the, on the event, kind of a, a more far out, like zoomed out point of view.
Something this episode did really great with the Joker. There's always been an element of this, just with the Joker period as a character. It's kind of grown over the years, but even in the animated series, they definitely put a little bit of this here and there into like fun bits. And this episode, they went full tilt with it. Joker breaking the fourth wall, which he can do very easily with the viewer. But the fact that In part two, he's literally breaking the fourth wall, talking to you, the schlub on the couch, watching the episode, which is really
Okay, you know what really
haunting.
made me laugh is when the countdown starts and it's literally like the exact length of an average
Yes,
animated episode.
which is what are you expecting? A round number? Just that gag is so freaking priceless. I love it so. But again, just that sets the fourth wall tone so well. Again, Joker's always tapped on the
I
glass.
mean, I
He's
feel
like,
like that's kind of meta joke that we make nowadays. Like that's a
yes,
Gordon Miller style meta joke. You know what I
it's
mean?
so ahead of
I
its
feel like that was
time.
ahead of its time.
I love it. We have like Harley Quinn as like the color commentator in the helicopter. During this whole thing, everyone's been evacuated, so we basically can destroy the heck out of Vegas. The consequence, basically, we have like a red carpet kind of arrival commentary going on. It's like Joker's again showing a lot of
Oh,
his bat.
totally.
Of course, Joker's very much the Bat fan that he always is here, like very much glowing about Batman and making fun of the Justice League. And again, one could read into, if I were to have put like a kind of a headcanon read on things, it would be again, Joker's thoughts on Batman's move with the Justice League is kind of like Scott Snyder's thing, where he thinks Batman works best alone, or at the very least in his own sandbox with his own sidekicks and everything. That Joker, I think, is kind of saying, I don't like the Justice League, so I'm going to have to up my game to get rid of them, or at least make them really bad.
Uh-huh.
So it's more of like I'm gonna show how cool Batman is. I'm just gonna make fun of the Justice League at every which way and turn. I'm basically gonna take my usual Batman plot and kind of supersize it so the Justice League will not stand a chance. It's like in black, very chic, and then there are these fashion disasters. How their mommies let them leave the house. I'll never know.
Oh God.
Can't believe their mommies let them out of the house like that. Okay, let's see. So
Really
Joker.
quick, Tom Beast and
Yeah.
John Kelling are kind of talking about the money that it must have taken for Joker to buy all the channels out, and I agree, must have been a substantial financial investment.
A lot of bank robberies for sure. Might have gotten a loan from Lex. We'll never know.
Actually, oh God, he switched from not John Kelling to actually John Kelling. Joker shows up in Las Vegas. Everyone at Circus starts sweating profusely.
I stayed at the Circus actually.
You know what's funny is that I kind of had like some traumatic childhood experience at like not traumatic in a bad way, just like, oh God, this is like what's going on? There's too many clowns when I went to Circus in Reno as a kid.
Can you imagine how creepy it would be? Remember the Joker's Wild episode of Batman Answers? They had the casino full of Jokers and Harleys. If you went into that, just imagine how creepy that'd be if you learned like one of them's the real Joker. Just how creepy.
God. No, but I'm saying I distinctly remember because I don't know how it is in Vegas because I know they have the full theme park set up, and in Reno, basically what they do is they have like an arcade that's in the middle of this big like there's like a trapeze act that basically goes like over the arcade, which is a really cool visual. But this arcade is kind of like a big circle, and I remember they had like a few like walk around clowns in the arcade, and the walk around clowns for me as a kid, that was just no bueno. Like I was not into that whatsoever. I still have memories of walking around the arcade and trying to avoid the clowns. Anyways,
okay.
But Kermit, I don't want to go back to Reno.
Okay. Oh God! All right, so let's see. So Joker checks on the local economy of like the cleared out casinos. I have this one lady on a slot machine though. Everyone's gone but one lady on the slot machine. Says, "Ma'am,
this thing's got to pay out sooner or later."
Man, I love this town. Which you would. Although the colorful characters of Vegas. Okay, so Superman, again, I like the logic here. Very Berkowitz writing here. Okay, well, Superman's going to find the bomb in the casino. And Joker's like kind of having a V8 moment, it seems. Like, of course! He has X-ray vision. Silly me. Which, by the way, is one of my go-to Joker lines. Like the whole, like, and they say I'm crazy. And the other one, silly me. It's like, it's perfect. It's a great soundbite for him. Okay, so, we find the bomb in the casino. It seems pretty straightforward. Would it be, Corey, basically, would it be me if I didn't have a few cards up my sleeve? Which, of course, enter the Royal Flush Gang. So, of course, the meta group of Teen Titans voice actors. We got Greg Sipes, Beast Boy as Jack. We got Kari Cyborg as as 10, the big muscly, Corey Page.
I think I recognized him because he's pretty distinct. I don't think I recognized any of the others, honestly.
There's Robin Scott Menville, he's King. Tara Strong, is Queen, and Hynden Walsh, who plays Starfire. Oddly enough, playing the most dour of the bunch, playing Ace, which is ironic. But, I gotta tell you, again, they're not my favorite version of the Royal Flush Gang. I mean, Ace obviously being the MVP.
Like I said, the main thing with me is, like, I just don't like how they're like, okay, and this person has this power, this person has this power. Like, I honestly would buy into them more if they were just street urchins that the Joker pulled in.
Gotcha.
All right.
I mean, they were going for kind of like an X-Men parody later. So
that's what I'm saying, though. That's not the X-Men thing. Just it kind of rings a little bit two-dimensional for me with the X-Men parallel. Like, I get that it's supposed to be meta, but for me, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, so it's just you doing X-Men. All right, cool.
Okay, let's see. So, let's see. So King, he's firing energy. To 10, he's basically as strong as Superman. Jack's basically Mr. Fantastic with the stretching powers, and Queen's got magnetism. Again, very X-Men-y powers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So Batman's going to defuse the bomb. It's him, always him. This Joker's color commentary during all this is really funny. Just like lifting up Batman, just making fun of the league, like stupid man. All right, let's see. So, time for more mindless violence, kiddies. So let's see. So then, basically, Batman's about to be, surrounded by the Royal Flush Gang. Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, they back Batman up. Apparently, Wonder Woman, the only one. Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, they're on another mission somewhere, not in this episode.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Happens a lot. We can't get it. If we get everyone in the episode, it's going to be a lot shorter. The stakes are going to be tremendously. Oh well, they're going to find all those bombs quite easily with 7 people.
Right. Sure.
Okay, let's see. So Batman again, he defuses the bomb, and we. I'm sorry. Before that, we have the exposition on the Royal Flush Gang. Which, long story short, again, we already kind of talked up the X-Men of it all. But what I want to mention though is I love the documentary kind of style shot once Joker enters and it enters the store, he knocks on the door, just as if he's like a Michael Moore documentary.
Oh God!
Just knowing I'm gonna help these kids, man. I'm gonna do something noble. Of course, by noble it means murder people at laughing gas.
And they would have gotten away for it too, if not for me meddling with the kids,
which is really funny. Oh, yeah, and of course we build up poor Ace for later. More on her later, which, again, bit of a clue. Ace is going to be important, kids. We gas the headmaster. Tell me this didn't crack you up. Like, the whole they love the Joker show. Like, they're, like, Ten's, like, holding Joker, like, in his arms. They came to love me.
Yeah, that is pretty funny, yeah.
It's like he's the proud papa of the group, essentially. Took in the kids and, like, oh, we like his style. Yeah. Anyway.
I almost kind of took it as the Joker almost kind of like hyping up his own, his own cool factor in his story.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And then again, this is where we do like the reality show confessionals bit where they're all like saying, yeah, I like the Joker. I like his style. And the food's good too. That whole thing. Again, tee up that Ace is really powerful, with that whole thing. Anyway, so again, all the backstory out of the way. And again, as I kind of mentioned at the top here, Joker swung by a Cadmus facility. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, pick something up. Okay. All right. So let's see. So Batman defuses the bomb. Of course, it's a gag bomb. It explodes in his face, but not detrimentally. Just that it's a gag bomb. Big old inflatable Joker playing card design, really cool. So the real bomb's still out there. Ace again, kind of staring, a little bit of staring at camera.
Superman, hint, nudge, nudge.
Superman discovers. Not 1 bomb, not 2 bombs, but Tiki, how many bombs?
25 bombs.
Love the reaction from, just love the reaction, like Superman, 25, and Batman's like, what? 25? And they have less than 14 minutes.
So one quick thing with the gang here, I do really like the playing card Silver Surfer type surfboard things that they fly around on. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, those, and that's a direct pull from Batman Beyond. They gave them that there and was like, yeah, they're really cool. We got to have them fly around the playing cards because how can you not? That's Bruce Timm showing his Kirby love right there.
Of course.
All right, let's see. Okay, so the point being, we have our stakes now against a Joker. Again, this is what makes a great Joker scheme, and again, him going next level. He just changed all the rules. Like again, that's the whole in poker. Joker changes all the rules in the suit and everything. So it kind of goes on brand with the playing card themes of the crime. I think it's pretty straightforward. And then 25 bombs, 14 minutes, and Joker pulls out the glasses and literally breaks the fourth wall right before our eyes. That's not a lot of time. So the Justice League are frantic. They're splitting up, so they can cover more ground, defuse the bombs as soon as possible. Batman's kind of walked, basically, they know how to defuse the bombs. So let's see. So the suspense is killing me. It's going to be the explosions that kill them, of course.
So this is where we get the tour of the really cool casino themes that don't even exist in real life.
Yeah, so Green Lantern finds a dummy bomb in in kind of the Nautilic
the 20,000 leagues. Yeah, like Dragon. What it looks like to me is it looks like it's in the Venetian. Essentially, if the Venetian decided to do like a big like Jules Verne expansion, which is like a super fucking cool concept.
Yeah, and I love Joker's being ticked off. I was hoping someone's going to drown looking for that dummy bomb.
And then the Hawaii casino with the giant volcano in the middle of it. I mean, I'd be down for that.
Yep.
The good news is the Batman is getting warm.
He's next to a volcano.
Getting warm, I said.
I just love that Joker's getting so frustrated. They're clapping like, ha 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 ha. Oh, no one likes a brown nose. So I love this detail. Batman walks up. It feels very Arkham game. That's just Batman's walking up to the cameraman or like kind of backing up into him. Because Batman's like, he doesn't have time to dissuade the cameraman. It's like, okay, just move out of my way.
Right.
All right, so Jack is hiding in a giant playing card display. Really clever.
This reminds me of Nightmare Before Christmas a little bit. How we weaponize the playing cards.
Yeah, especially with the gothic kind of mix there. Yeah. All right, let's see. We have the odds maker gag here. We're basically, again, this is the fun kind of TV gags that we're doing here. The Joker takes
this was really funny to me.
Okay, tell me about it. What did you like about it?
Okay, so first of all, have we seen this character before? Is he just like a random Vegas mobster type?
Completely random Vegas
mobster. Oh my god, I love it. I fucking love it. Oh god. So we just go to this like, what's his name, Dragon?
I don't remember his. I don't think he even has a name, but it's like an odds. It's just an oddsman. I don't know. It's just like a random henchman.
Better, honestly. So it's just like this super stereotypical like Vegas mobster type. Smart money's on your boy Jack, Mr. J. Batman has the edge and experience, and wait, I can't help noticing. But I suspect he's indulging in too many bat donuts.
Yeah, so Batman
Jack's younger, and he definitely has the longer reach.
Yep.
That's almost like fucking Family Guy style cutaway.
Yeah, and again, just like
honestly,
it's just basically Joker having as much fun with like kind of his version of a telethon almost. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like kind of like a more like like basically Joker's taking a bomb plot and mixing it with a telethon.
Oh.
So yeah, and of course, 240. So that's apparently what Batman weighs in the DC, at least by Justice League.
John Kelly, and I'll meet you in the middle. I'd be down to die in a themed volcano. So like not a real volcano, but like, I don't know, if I were to perish on a volcano baselide or something like that, I could think of worse things to get.
Really?
I'd die doing what I love.
You wouldn't want to just like die in mostly authentic volcano experiences. If they manufactured lava, would you want to die that way?
No, it sounds super painful.
Well, it could be instant.
Dragon, I don't like burning. I have literal nightmares of like people burning me with cigarettes. I hate that.
Yeesh. Okay.
Anyways,
right.
I don't know why cigarette burns in particular get to me. I think because of something that happened to me as a kid.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go away from the child therapy corner here. We're gonna move on. So
it wasn't abuse; it was an accidental thing.
All right, fine, whatever.
Right. So I realized how that would sound. Yeah.
Yeah. So Batman throwing some explosive batarangs, basically Jack absorbing the blast, just showing the guy's pretty invulnerable with the elasticity and everything. Tosses Batman. The action's really good in this. Tossing Batman out a window and does like the glide move. Pretty cool. Pre-Arkham games, kids.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So Joker sees if basically Joker sees, I'm going to see if Flash is as stupid as he looks. As basically he's just he's playing his mind games with the Flash here, as he's basically talking him out of any good decision he thinks he's about to make with the bomb. Like, no, don't touch that. There's a motion detector. You move it, and it'll go off.
So again, I'm sorry, I have to be like kind of a theme park geek here. I love how the Flash is on top of the obvious parody of the New York coaster. Did you see that in person, Dragon?
I didn't go on it, but I think I saw
I'm sure you didn't go on it because it's pretty sketchy looking.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. That is actually cigarette burns give me fear and loathing vibes. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember when I was a little kid, I ran into my mom's cigarette like when I was playing, and it was an accident, and I got burned, and it hurt really bad, and I literally have nightmares about that. I don't know. It stuck with me. It wasn't intentional at all, but maybe John Gelling says, I've been on it. I died. True story.
Not just John Gelling, maybe John Gelling.
Yeah, it's supposedly one of the worst coasters in the world.
Really?
Supposedly, yes.
You know, it's funny. I know you never watched CSI, right?
No.
The main character, kind of the Sherlock Holmes of the bunch who led the team, Gil Grissom, William Peterson. His whole thing was that he loved roller coasters and bugs.
Are you serious? That's funny.
It was more so in the first season. They transitioned more into the bugs as it went on, but his whole gimmick is that
I literally booked 2 different trips this year out of just coasters, one to Lagoon and then one to Universal and Busch Gardens, just coasters. Anyways,
he was obsessed with forensic entomology, which is the study of bugs, and what he did for fun after the job was he went on roller coasters.
Well, unfortunately, he wasn't in the best town for roller coasters, although Speed the Ride was probably there, and Speed the Ride I heard was really good. But that didn't long.
Whether it was good or not, they sold the heck out of that. I believe the New York coaster, at least one of the roller coasters. They showed like, man, he was having a really good time with that roller coaster.
I mean, visually it looks nice. I just heard it rides like shit.
Okay.
Anywho,
getting back.
And then I also like that this random background details that you see the parking lot of a space themed casino in the background. All right.
So back to the Flash. So this is a fun idea where Joker's basically like attacking not the Flash physically, but attacking his confidence. What you guys like? Something the Joker would absolutely do, and that's how he would contend with the Justice League. Because he can't kick the crap out of Superman unless he's got kryptonite. He's gonna get into his head. It's like, you're lying. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm not. So what does the Flash do? The Flash calls Batman. This is a hilariously edited sequence. I love the editing on this. Where, hey Bats, I got a problem. You don't say. Just Batman ticked off and grumpy while he's fighting. He's fighting Jack. And again, the Batman-Flash dynamic after, a better world. We see Batman does have a soft spot for the Flash and a soft spot for the team, but he's trying to keep him at a distance. So this is kind of the thing where, Batman likes that Flash, but he won't tell him. So as Batman's fighting for his life, without missing a beat, he walks Flash through a bomb disposal, which you got to admit, that's really awesome. It's like, okay, first, open the compartments. Like, I already did that. Don't jump ahead. It was I opened it before I called you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. Superman's fighting 10 on the Statue of Liberty. Basically, the Vegas Statue of Liberty. Let's see. We have there's a fight inside the Amos Fortune's casino. Amos Fortune, by the way, the original guy in the comics who founded the Royal Flush Gang. It's a little Easter egg for that guy.
Okay, nice.
Okay, let's see. So Queen in that casino, that's where Green Lantern is. Queen's bombarding him with coins. The coin effects are really cool though, even with the power set. Like, she bombards him with coins like a giant metal ball that forms around the force field he made. Pretty neat. Then she makes like a metal suit, and then Hawkgirl enters they have a mace fight. Pretty cool. She's got his back. Nice. Anyway, as these two are having a moment, as Batman walked the Flash through, disposed the bomb and everything, and it went fine. Joker's commenting on the Hawkgirl Green Lantern relationship during the bomb defusal gone wrong here. Like Joker's with his popcorn talking to Ace, who's just staring silent the whole episode. pretty much almost all the two-parter. Says, "Is it just me, or is there something going on between those two?" Then he goes into the whole melodramatic. Basically, it's a melodramatic version of Bill Dozier, and this ends the episode.
Oh yeah, totally. It's very appropriate.
I just love that we found a way.
It's a very appropriate part one endpoint.
The fact that they found a way in the episode to legitimately give like a 60s Batman ending. Just really funny.
Uh-huh.
Will Green Lantern ever admit to his feelings? Will Hawkgirl ever stop sublimating her passions with that big honking mace? Will true love conquer all? Not on my show. Click, boom, bomb goes off. Green Lantern stops her saves her at the last second. Cliffhanger, is he dead? Technically, yes.
God.
His heart stopped. He was dead.
All right, there we go, folks. John's dead now.
Well, there's like a bazillion other Green Lanterns, so we're going to be fine.
I know. Could you imagine if they actually had the balls to do that, though?
I believe they... Here's the thing. You know that... I wonder, the network gave him so much carte blanche. I wonder if they. We literally did a whole episode where it looked like we killed Superman.
Like, okay, that's it for Green Lantern. All right, like we'll probably bring in Hal Jordan at some point, but
there's always that proviso of like, okay, we can seemingly kill off characters and be really be really kind of sad about it. We have a whole funeral for Superman, but he's alive. He's just been sent to the future. We can kill Green Lantern, actually have him flatline, but as long as we bring him back, we're going to be okay.
Right.
Okay, so part 2. We're in part 2 now.
Huh?
Okay.
Sorry?
We're in part 2 now.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So Batman batarangs, Jack in the face as he just checks in on Green Lantern. Like, I love it. Batman's freaked out. Like, oh god, an explosion's going off. Lantern, come in. Lantern, are you okay? Batman's a little worried about his friend right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So again, life and death stakes. Of course, Joker's kind of raving and like life and death stakes ratings. So a Hawkgirl.
Good foreshadow too.
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah, like we're getting a lot of traction here. So, Hawkgirl revives Green Lantern with her mace, which is a really cool use of her nth metal mace, like using the electrical charges to kind of revive him. As she's kind of freaking out because she loves this guy. So they're kind of coming to that realization by the end of the episode here. And yes, maybe John Killen says they did bring in Hal Jordan briefly, very briefly. And yes, he's right, very briefly. I think you'll see this at some point, Tiki. They did bring in Hal Jordan. It was very notably brief. It's hilarious how they did it. Okay, let's see. So, again, Superman's still fighting 10. Again, this is where I absolutely agree with you with the Royal Flush Gang, where, 10 is like, hey, I'm fighting Superman. I got a smart mouth. That's all he's got.
Yeah. That's all he's got. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now, to be fair, though, it is really funny how Superman deals with this guy, though, where he's just like, hey, I'm stronger than Superman. Like, hold that thought. That Superman just punches him into the sky.
Superman is very sassy throughout this whole two-parter. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I just love Superman. This is Superman who can. He's been around for a while in the DCA. He's like, I'm a little tired of it. I'm going to punch this guy because he can actually take him. I'm going to punch him into the sky, defuse the bomb. Where were we? I'm going to get back to punch you now, and then I don't have to worry about a ticking clock.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, let's see. So Hawkgirl, she's distressed. Basically, she's like, I'm out of this episode, man. I'm going to attend to Green Lantern. He's alive, but barely. I'm going to get a medical attention. Like, screw you, Batman. She's out.
We need to streamline the screen time for the final act.
That's the thing. If Green Lantern and Hawkgirl in the episodes, either going to be more people just drooling or it's going to be, well, we're going to stop.
Right.
Where's the rest of the episode? Where are the stakes? Okay, let's see. So, okay, so basically we have some explosions going on, and Joker's telling Harley, get in close. Of course, she gets in lower in the helicopter.
I really love this shot. I think it's super dynamic.
What I'm really jazzed out of my mind about is just the fact that Batman's using Joker's whole live broadcast shtick against him to be the undoing here. Like, okay, Joker's trying to kill me with like a live fight. I'm going to use it against him. Harley's helicopter's coming in close. This guy's durable. I'm going to use him to jam up the helicopter rotors. And 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm going to interrogate Harley. It's like Batman playing 3 steps ahead. I love it.
Yeah, I really like that the episode up until this point it pretty much maintains the structure of it being the broadcast, and this is the first time where that structure literally gets destructed.
Love it. So let's see. So there's 4 minutes left, and they've disabled all but one of the bombs. And it's up to Flash to essentially do it in the quote unquote Luxor, basically the Egyptian casino.
Flash, do what you did in the Snyder Cut.
Okay, let's see. So, of course, as Flash gets there, he's ambushed by Ten and King. Meanwhile, Batman, just to cut back to the real reason we're talking about this episode. So, Batman, this is a rather clever idea. Batman pulling a Mad Love again.
This is a power move by Batman.
Yeah,
it's a fucking power move.
It's so on brand because it's Batman. It's Batman pulling a Mad Love again, where he's getting in Harley's head about the relationship, and he's so darn cold and sassy about it, and I love it. This is like, and yet basically after all these years, you think I'd give up on Mr. J? He gave you up, which he has done on occasion. That was a long time ago. We've been the couples counseling.
God.
Which is a hilarious idea in itself, because you imagine Joe's like going to kill that therapist.
I could totally see a whole episode just centered on that. I really could.
Me too. I've seen so many YouTube parodies of like Joker and Harley and counseling.
Well, yes, including one web series.
Yes,
that's pretty much that example in the form of a web series.
Yes, technically two, if you really think about it. But technically two shows that we both covered. So, all right, okay. Let's see. So Batman points out, and this is where Batman gets really smart here. He's doing it right now. Gets in her head with Ace. Look, because basically Joker's been really kind of like, handsy and patting her on the head and everything, being like, "Look at my little co-host pal, my little buddy here." So again, Joker doing this all because she's being a really good. Ultimately, we're going to reveal she's being really useful to him, and again, he's treating her like Harley. Harley at times has been useful, hence that dynamic. So Batman's not really lying here either. Then why are you out here in the cold? Why is Ace in there? She's just a kid. Anyway. So he lays all that out for her there, and again, that Joker is very affectionate to people that are useful for him or kind of entertain him for a brief moment. Harley takes this in; she knows that he's right, and her response to this, and this to me is one of the most hilarious moments in the whole episode. Punches Batman, and just Joker reacting to it, like, "Got to admit, didn't see that one coming." I love it. Just love a genuine audience reaction from the Joker. Have to admit, didn't see that one coming. So that's gonna pay off later. Meanwhile, Superman saves the Flash's bacon again. A little Flash Superman being buddies. I like that. Saving his bacon. Let's see. Superman points out to the Royal Flushing, you're gonna die too in the explosion, right? If this thing goes off. King realizes, hey, I'm not indestructible like my lunkhead friend here. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna flee and live. So let's see. So okay, Joker tries to distract the Flash while he's defusing the last bombs. He's like, hey, shut up! What kind of comeback's that? So let's see. So then the Flash, essentially his solution, because again, he's now second-guessing his bomb disposal on the last biggest bomb here. Flash runs the bomb out of town.
Again, another really cool visual of like the bomb exploding like way off in the distance.
Yeah.
Slow down the footage.
Yeah, I love the fact we're slowing down the footage. Like, wait, play that back. Super slow motion. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I gotta say, Drag, just visually, this might be one of my favorite episodes we've ever covered just from the locations alone. I don't know. I'm really digging the Vegas vibes.
It's really cool. It is. Of course, plus Nevada desert explosions. It kind of fits.
Yeah, right.
Very good cyclical nature. All right, let's see. So point being, the bomb's been, again, you're thinking, okay, well, we've run out our time here, but there's still more episode left. What are we going to do? So, which, by the way, the time does roughly work out. I think there's a few liberties here and there, but essentially it is like, there is like a 23-minute ticking clock that is actually applied.
It starts like roughly halfway through part one and ends roughly halfway through part two. So it's roughly about the amount of one episode. Yeah.
Sure, like the Temple Fugates out there are probably going to say, wait a minute, no, that doesn't time out second per second. And what about the commercials? Like it's like, oh, wait, what, don't the Flintstones go to the bathroom?
Well, those are the same people that write for Cinema Sins, Dragon.
Yeah. Just a bunch of Temple Fugates like trying to get their coffee, but never in the park. Okay. All right, okay, let's see. So after all that, after the instant replay, okay, nice little bit here where Superman congratulates the Flash on the stunt that he pulled, which I'm thinking like, oh, Superman paid Flash a compliment. Nice. Okay.
I always love Superman Flash stuff. I'm a sucker for that.
I know, it's adorable, right? And again, knowing how when the Flash dies, it just sends Superman, off the deep end with a better world, it really adds like a little level to it. Like, man, he really does value that guy.
Uh-huh.
You're so messed up when you think Rosenbaum voices the Flash. Anyway, okay. Okay, so Joker congratulates. This is where we have the big twist, man, the big Berkowitz twist, and I love this. So Joker congratulates the Justice League on foiling his bomb plot, and we have the big reveal that for the last 15 minutes, the broadcast has gone global. We have that really cool. Speaking of visuals, Tiki, like you were speaking of, the infinite Joker shot with the TV looks really cool. It's like,
Sure.
infinite Jokers against the TV, like pulling up the little statistics. About 16 to 17 million watches right now. And the Royal Flush Gang, they presented the conflict. Justice League brought the power, which by the way, I love. There's like when they're put on screen, it's a reference to a comic book cover. It's the JLI, the Justice League International comic book cover. They're all kind of like looking.
I actually kind of noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because I was thinking, where's the Justice League I care about in that Justice League International cover? Now they've done it, so I'm satisfied. All right, let's see. So then, of course, Joker brought the. Anyways, Joker brought the the suspense and the surprise and kind of the whammo blammo. Anyways, Joker brought the surprise ending, which is everyone watching. Everyone watching everyone watching is going to bear witness to his greatest joke ever. In 5 minutes, everyone watching this broadcast will be incurably insane, thanks to Ace. So this is quite the development, Tiki. I rather enjoy this.
No, I really like it. It kind of recontextualizes the whole thing. Yeah, and it basically like makes the whole episode like, oh god, they were playing right into his hand.
And again, like a Joker scheme that is like upping the ante, much like Batman has by working with the Justice League. It's like a the Joker plot, the end all Joker plots. He's driven the world, or at least 17 million people, insane in record time. And again, it's kind of like a great joke. Again, there's kind of a satirical element to it with the whole, like, people are obsessed with media and, of course, the increasingly violent nature of media and all that sort of stuff. And Joker kind of making a mockery of a lot of really clever kind of layers to this plot. Making, again, all that sort of stuff. And the whole, like, the TV will rot your brain. Simplicity of that idea. If you watch too much TV, it's going to rot your brain. Joker's literalized that.
Yeah.
So basically, we reveal the background on Ace that he left out. That Ace, we have like this creepy staring baby shot in her flashback. Is this the face of a monster to you?
Dragon, what I really love about this section of the episode is it really reminds me of like it's very reminiscent of something like Baby Doll. I got a real Baby Doll vibe from this, just in the sense of like, now I know that the gang is not original to the show, but what about Ace as a character?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Tiki. They just took the Ace is a fully original thing. All of these.
Yeah,
guys
that's what I figure, because like I said, there's a real Baby Doll energy to this, like the tragic quality to it, and I really dig it.
No,
it's very Burden-esque.
It's so funny you mentioned Baby Doll, because I didn't know we were going this way in the conversation. You make an excellent point. I wish I thought of this, because Dan Reba, the guy who directed Part 2, this episode, directed Baby Doll.
Well, there you go. It makes sense.
The very last Ace scene in this is very Baby Doll-esque to me.
For sure, absolutely. It almost kind of feels like a spiritual sequel to Baby Doll in some way.
It's a subtler version of Baby Doll, but it's really nice. Anyway, so point being, we see that she was and this is a really tragic portrayal of her background here, where this original background where it's like, hey, she was a girl.
She just literally makes her parents go insane, like basically right from the get-go.
Yeah, and again, it's like not her fault. It's kind of like a Jean Grey sort of thing, where again, it's like, she's just
very Jean Grey. Yeah, that's definitely the vibe I got.
Again, the idea is it's a normal kid who's just driven her whole power says that she just does damage to people and she doesn't mean to do it, but it just happens and she cannot
Uh-huh.
control it. So she's being taken to this basically this kind of government based version of the Xavier Mansion against her will, and the creepy, basically our creepy villain for Professor Xavier with a mustache and a blind eye is putting a little control collar on her, which again, you see why she fears this thing. Essentially, it kind of turns her into a zombie practically. It keeps her in check and in control.
Uh-huh.
So she doesn't make everyone catatonically insane around her. So again, it's like it's very X-Men premise. But again, it's kind of very. I like the difference between this and the X-Men. I like how we localized it to just kind of like we've had a lot of all the pathos is concentrated on one character versus they all have X-Men stories. So that's where I'm kind of leaning on. I like the approach they went with versus just making them full on and they have backstories and everything. Well, no, they're just kind of generic except for her.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I can see the argument for that.
Again, Ace does indeed have stay power for obvious reasons for an episode we'll cover down the line, but we'll get there when we get
Ooh.
there. Anywho, trust me, there's a big Ace thing coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So, anyways, basically, as we got a little backstory thing here, and then again, really great thing is we cut back from commercial to Joker like messing with the camera, like pulling it closer. Can't look away, can you? And again, he goes through the backstory and harmless as a drowned. They put that control collar on and made her harmless as a drowned kitten. It's great, creepy Joker lines. Loved it. All your life, people recoiled in fear. I know what that's like. I can relate to that. I'm the only, and again, Joker basically sets his own folly here. I'm the only one who's never scared of you. So, okay, and you'll notice there's a really great detail here. So, in the background, random guy in a mouse costume with coffee walks through the background.
Oh God!
So it's the idea that it's playing with you, the audience here, is that you, the viewer, watching the episode, are starting to see crazy things, and you yourself have been driven insane.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the heady, and that, and the fact that Ace has been staring at you at
No,
camera.
I really like the surrealism when it's introduced because it's weirdly subtle in some areas.
Honestly, this whole plot line, this whole reveal, it feels so Grant Morrison in all the best ways. Like a very Grant
Totally,
Morrison
yeah.
and or Doom Patrol sort of like reveal with like the Doom Patrol show. They do
Okay,
very surrealist.
I'll give you one shot at Nightmare Fuel. The fucking snake coming out of the dude's mouth.
Yeah, we have like
Oh my God!
you have like the snake coming out of the guy's mouth. One guy melts into his control
The
panel.
rats crawling up the. I mean, Dragon. Seriously, the rats. Oh, I don't like the rats.
Not the rats.
No, I don't. That there's too many of them.
What are you, blood sport?
No, I'm Don Knotts apparently.
Oh boy, I'll tell you one thing. There's one Batman Beyond episode you're going to be uneasy with.
Wait, is there a Don Knotts character?
No,
or something?
Well, no, not Don. Well, I'm trying to think. We already had like a Don Knotts figure in. No.
Oh,
Well, we had a Don Knotts looking character in Batman the Animated Series already. Remember the whole?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
The Penguin's account. Excuse me. Because he's being flushed down. Anyway, point being, that was going to be a rat episode in Batman Beyond. You might.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how you react to that one, Killer. Okay. Anyway, very Morrison-y concept. Now, again, really heady idea, too, is that the Joker, seemingly, and I buy this, Joker's immune. I'm immune to all this because I'm already crazy.
Asterisk.
Which, again, makes me wonder and just theorize over why things happen the way they happen. We'll get there. So, anyways, just calling out you're helpless and basically everyone's hallucinating in the control room again. All the visuals we said. Anyway,
you know what I like about this visually is that they make a way for it to distinguish it from fear toxin, which would be very easy to kind of like, be derivative of.
Yeah, it's not just fears; it's just surrealism. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because they're not just like screaming in terror or anything. It's like they're just you see that they're
in a way. I almost find that more scary than the fear toxin stuff.
I mean, you
because
kind of
like you're really losing your mind.
I mean, it feels like an LSD fuel.
It does. Legit. Some of the visuals here really do have a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas quality to them. Dragon. I didn't just use that wholly for the Las Vegas side of things.
I mean, I can't help but wonder if they maybe pulled back a little because we see a Superman and Flash watching. We don't see what they hallucinate.
God.
Because it just, I don't know, part of it just feels to me like it was like, I buy with them, even just with everyone seeing what the hallucinations actually look like, just seeing those people, these huge titans just kind of stopped in their tracks of like, they can't move their bodies or move forward or stop looking away because they are caught in the surrealist kind of like hypnotic circle of like, I don't know what's real around me. I don't know if I can even move,
Right. Yeah.
which you kind of feel
And
it.
honestly, Dragon, I feel like that's kind of like a perfect example of like what you don't see is more scary than anything that they could possibly show you.
Yeah. So Harley interrupts things as Joker's like patting Ace on the head and everything. He's like, "Oh, who's my the best sidekick a homicidal maniac could ever have?" So Harley takes offense to that. So she comes in very 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 hot, very
Very
hot.
poor choice of words.
so so Joker again just kind of playing kind of like, Harley, you can't let everything we've built, we've rebuilt, ruined by a misunderstanding. Can you? We're two of a kind. You'll always come back to me. And it's such a tragic moment here. It's like, you'll always
Oh,
come
it's a
back to
perfect
me.
mad love moment for sure.
Yeah, it's a nice little kind of greatest hits of Mad Love this episode. With Batman
Yeah.
getting in Harley's head. Because again, it's like it's ultimately what you need. Mad Love sets it up beautifully, and anytime we check in with this thing, if you ever boil down Harley and Joker's relationship, it'll always be the greatest hits of Mad Love, which would be something like this. And that's all you kind of need.
Uh-huh.
Where it's going to be, it says, you'll always come back to me like the swallows in Capistrano.
Oh my God.
And then of course, we have the turn. I want to get your reaction to this. And I wonder if this is like the surrealist audience thing. If your read on this is like us, the audience, hallucinating extra bits here. He says, there's one other thing you're forgetting. And Harley just looks up with this really creepy, wide eyed expression. What? Do you think that's just her being really sucked in by the Joker, or do you think that's us, the audience, like maybe pushing things a little bit?
I didn't catch anything weird about it on first glance. I'll admit that.
So anyway, I always stuck with me. I never considered that it might be us, the audience, hallucinating, but I'm now questioning it. So
Uh-huh.
she's, what? That you led Batman right to my doorstep, and just slaps her into the tally board. Is tough love, quite effective, don't you agree? So Batman, Batman, of course, this is awesome. Just Batman.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
Thank you.
So anyway, Joker calling the Batman because he knows he's there. He's done this dance so many times. Batman, I love he's kind of learned from the Injustice for All episode. Where
It's
he's
like we're
looking for
not
Batman.
going with a Matt Reeves style, like, oh, he's lurking in the shadows and I'm terrified.
But this is great. Just him calling out the Batman like mid call out. He just gets punched. I know you're right. Bam! Right in the face. Yeah. So Ace turns under Joker's instructions. Ace looks right at Batman and turns up the juice. And oh god,
Okay, and dear God, Dragon, like I would, you know, like I've dabbled a little bit in LSD in the past. I'm not gonna lie.
Get
Folks,
out of town.
you could turn me in. Dragon has nothing to do with it. He's innocent. But
Yep.
all I can say is that, oh my God, like watching this episode under the influence of something like that would almost be too much. Like there is a real hard edge to the surrealism here with the frogs and everything. I mean, they go hard with it.
That they do. I mean, again, I always applaud and love to see Batman's willpower at play. So that's why I always have a hard line with Batman where now we're not doing this in this episode specifically. I'm just saying in general. I always have like a hard line where I don't like Batman being under mind control because I absolutely believe his willpower would like protect him from that sort of thing. And if he is under mind control, it would not last long. So that's kind of like that's my tolerance for that sort of thing. So I love seeing instances like this where you show we're throwing a lot at Batman here. I mean, so like we see he's just so disoriented. Like the room is spinning. Batman actually kind of throws up off screen because we can't show that, and I'm kind of glad we didn't. He's just the fact that he's crawling on the floor and he's looking up and he sees like this spindly, creepy, like Dr. Seussian and Joker. He's just like, oh, how I've waited for this. And I've always loved this, like Joker wailing on Batman, like in very Dark Knight-esque, just like
Yeah,
before he
yeah,
does
yeah.
right, just like using the opportunity to wail on Batman as he would here, just like kicking him and hitting him to the tune of. I've always loved Joker singing this because again, Joker sings song and now and again has worked really well when we do something like this. Big old bats has fallen down on the ground. Mind and sound. Big old bats has fallen down. I'm so happy. It's just so great and creepy as he's like beating the crap out of him like he were a robin right now. And he grabs
Uh-huh.
that giant heavy light. Says, good heft. Says, all good things must come to an end. And he just, oh god, he's got that the nice heft, and he's about to basically beat Batman to death on live hallucinating television. But thank God, Batman during this whole thing, he's had a plan. He knows, knowing the Joker the way he does, he knows Joker would plan to double cross Ace. So he knows that I love this. Batman's been paying attention during the show the whole time. So he saw that Ace backstory, so he knows the control collar is going to be on his person. So that's why he
I
was
mean,
crawling.
for as evil as the Joker is, Dragon, he knows how to put on a compelling TV production, and Batman just, he knew it was must-see TV regardless. He knew he had to tune in for the water cooler conversation the next day.
I mean,
I mean, he's a very efficient man that way, that Batman.
it takes it back to
Keeping up with the pop culture trends.
in all seriousness, it does take it back to that Beware the Creeper episode where, Joker's like, oh, I'm sure Batman's watching Pudding. He'd never miss a show about me. Well,
Right.
it's just the fact that Batman was paying attention, kids. So he grabs the headband right, and again, the whole reason he's crawling towards him. I've never seen you so determined, Batsy. He reaches into the jacket, pulls it out. Ace sees it. She ain't happy, and I love the little detail that Joker's trying. Give me that. Batman will not let go, and like his all the willpower. He's like so decimated mentally right now, but he will not let that effing thing go. So Ace, oh god, here's the turn. Joker's getting a little nervous here, and Ace is she's saying things.
That's a really great build-up that we saved the voice for the very end.
Yeah, and Hynden Walsh, man, again, like Hynden Walsh never gets enough credit because it always pains me on that. Every time I've caught a glimpse of Teen Titans Go, they've watered her down so much.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
because remember what they do with Starfire is they throw the every second word. It's like, are we doing the dance now? Are we going to the fridge? Or it's always the because she's foreign. She's a foreign alien exchange student. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing her being able to cut this, we've seen her do a really good Harley Quinn, and now we're seeing her just doing a really great performance as Ace here. Anyway, says, "I'm not afraid of you because I know what it's like to frighten other people." And Joe's kind of backing up into a corner here. Joe's getting a little afraid, and I like to think my head can. We're going to read some comments here, and people weighing in on the whole Joker insanity thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like to think that Joker's afraid because she's so powerful and able to do what Joker can do on a regular. Like Joker's broken people before, whether it be killing Joker, if you want an animated series example, like Harley Quinn, he's driven people insane before. Only she can do it like kind of as a super, as a meta, like in a Superman equivalent. She can do it like in a snap of fingers. That's what intimidates the Joker. That's why he's a little afraid. I think deep down, he knows she'll be able to make him sane, or depending on how you land on the argument, actually insane. Like some people think Joker is sane, but he's just really cruel, which is possible. Mm-hmm. So anyway, you slice it, I think he's afraid one way or another she's gonna find a way to I think Joker going like catatonic is him going sane versus like hallucinating. I think it's him seeing the world clearly and feeling guilty for all the stuff he's done. I think that's what that is.
I can see that, yeah.
All right, let's see. So John Kelly says Ace's innate psychic side effect is just driving people insane regardless. What it seems is she actively focuses on Joker, funneling all of her power at him, intentionally rendering Joker catatonic. And John, ultimately, that's what I think it is. Ultimately, I think she's just really turning up the juice or like it's like, I don't know if super insane is really a term that would remotely work, but let's just say, yeah, she's either just putting it in overdrive, rendering him like so insane he's catatonic, or just like his version of insane is just like seeing the world straight, and that renders him catatonic. One of which, and again, eventually it probably wears off because we do see him in Return of the Joker. I'm going to guess that's what happens there.
Sure.
Is there anything else about the climax? Any other pertinent comments to the ending Joker stuff you can say?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So, point being, okay. So again, Joker, she's pinning him against the wall, and she's about to pat his head. It seems, and Joker's like, no. She's cowering, and she puts his, and seeming like, oh, that's my little ace. I know you'd never hurt me. And this is horrifying. Mark Hamill giving and this is why I think he kind of goes a little sane. He gives like not a Joker yell. He gives like a straight like Mark Hamill yell. Here.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good subtle little performance detail there.
Like, ah!
Right.
Like Joker, like ah! Like none of that. It's like, oh god, he's genuinely terrified right now.
Like it almost kind of like breaks through the Joker persona to whatever the hell like is deep seated and lurking beneath that in a way.
Sane or not, whatever it is, that's deep in there.
Yeah,
Joker's seeing whatever he's seeing. It's if the point is, folks, whatever your opinion or whatever your thought is, whatever the Joker's seeing, this is the Joker we're talking about. Whatever he's seeing, no man or woman or child should ever see. Ever.
All right.
So then we have the baby doll moment you were talking about. This bit always stuck with me. So after Joker's like in a catatonic drooling state, which already in itself is haunting after that scream.
Yeah.
Batman is just like, like saying to her very honestly as he's like about to pass out, where are you going to go? Nowhere.
No idea why Boba doesn't want the Pikes operating in his territory.
Sorry.
Who cares?
Right. So
you're a crime boss. A boss of
oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're focused right now. Yeah, I know I exit out all my tabs before we go on, but that's just me, apparently. It's called being considerate. Anyway, my point is, what I was going for with your baby doll thing, because again, consider it.
I'm sorry.
You should be. I love that Batman again being compassionate even in the final moments here. He doesn't have like a lot of whole like conversation, like a whole like baby doll kind of consoling moment with her, but the fact that he does care. He's asking where she's going, not because hey, I can't let you get away, but no, let me help you. Like in his last moments there, I thought it was really nice.
Let's see. John Kelling says this is canonically Joker's last appearance before the past events of Return to the Joker. So this might have rendered him mobile for years. Waller probably tried to kill Joker, but Joker escaped and went into hiding. Says it's Tom Beast.
That's not a bad theory. I mean, it's possible, but then again, Joker is crafty. I don't know if he would necessarily be on the run for that long a time from Waller, but I mean, it would explain why we don't see him that often. They had to contrive a reason why the Joker isn't around that often, so it makes sense.
Okay, and then we ran stuff out with the Jon Stewart and Hawkgirl stuff, which I don't really think we need to get into because it's not really permanent to Batman.
There's only one thing. There's only one thing we should mention about it, though.
Yeah.
Be respectful of mention it. So, as I mentioned, this meant a great deal to Dwayne McDuffie because Dwayne McDuffie was in a mixed marriage. He was married.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
So when Jon Stewart has that, when Phil Lamar delivers, all I see is a man and a woman. That's coming from
that is a damn good line. And it's a really good kind of like we talked through Jon Stewart on Black History Heroes, which by the way, that might still to this day be one of my favorite episodes of Black History Heroes that we did.
It was, again, Jon Stewart's such a great character, man.
He is.
Yeah, so again, it was a big moment. This is the first time ever, by the way, she was unmasked. That's why it was such a huge moment. Like, she never took off that mask before this part. So, like, when he unmasked her and they showed, like, the green eyes.
Right. And that definitely kind of, it was a cool visual for sure. And having it against space, too, with the Earth in the background.
Mm-hmm. It's the fact that after this crazy episode, where it was a very Batman episode, we ended on a big like tee up of Starcross, like, oh, these two crazy kids. I hope nothing bad happens to them.
Right. All right, so yeah, I don't really have a lot to add to the final thoughts, Dragon. I think this is a really creative episode. Really uses the structure very well. Some excellent Batman stuff at the end. Really cool surrealist animation, and in the final confrontation, all around really good.
Final thoughts for me. This is a super fun Joker episode. Again, as I mentioned, while not our best iteration of the Royal Flush Gang, Joker and the Royal Flush Gang was always a pairing I've always wanted to see more. Honestly, I think it's such a great move to have the Joker come up with the idea for the Royal Flush Gang, because it's something he would do. Because again, he'd be the Joker in the suit of the Royal Flush Gang. It makes sense. I buy it. Look, not as cool as the Batman Beyond take on him, as I've kind of said ad nauseum here, but it's yeah, it's they pop up from they pop up in a bunch of stuff from here and there in terms of animation. People love using the Royal Flush Gang. They popped up in the Arrowverse. They popped up in like Justice League Doom. They pop up from here or there. So it's again, this episode serving as kind of a DCAU kind of production order farewell to Joker in the sense of the Joker in a sense. I like that we're ending big and we're ending memorably with the whole catatonic thing. I like that we gave Joker like a big kind of episode where he's in full control as you would with this character, and he could actually go toe to toe with the Justice League in terms of like outthinking them. This episode has great twists and turns because, as Batman famously said once, one of the great lines between Batman and the Joker, it's never easy with the Joker.
All right, take us out.
Also, we should thank John.
Big thanks to Atong Beast and maybe, possibly, at least half John Kelling.
Okay. The Batman. Oh, I'm sorry, real quick. We should mention, too.
Yeah, we should acknowledge it. Yeah, good.
So, folks, so anyone, folks, just in case anyone's wondering, so again, I've shown Tiki Starcross when we did that Jon Stewart Black History Heroes. So we're not gonna talk about that because Batman's kind of has like the best, in my opinion. Batman has the best moments in that episode, but there's not nearly enough Batman to really kind of talk about the three-parter that is Starcross, the very Jon Stewart Hawkgirl centric Starcrossed.
Uh-huh.
So this is the end of our Justice League coverage on the animated Batcave, but we are now officially moving into Justice League Unlimited. Now, again, we're not doing For the Man Who Has Everything because again I've shown Tiki that as well, and that one
the whole point of animated Batcave is stuff that I have not previously seen.
Yes, and yes, very, very, very you can count on less than one hand exceptions. Like when we cover like the Christmas with the Joker, for example.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Like stuff like that, like being the very few exceptions, or holiday nights for the holiday stuff that we've covered on Christmas in July. Those are like the exceptions. Anyway,
yeah.
Point being, we are officially moving into Justice League Unlimited, and we're not doing For the Man Who Is Everything, but we're doing the next kind of very Batman's, a prominently Batman featured episode beyond that. Okay, here we go. You're going to bring a review of what that episode is now. The Batman, a boy wonder. The Justice League turned Junior League. The return of Etrigan the Demon. Can Batboy and friends stop Morgan Le Fay's son and his Neverland plot? Will every child in the world lose their parents forever? Tune in next time to find out. Same animated bat time, same animated bat place.
On the next visit to the animated Batcave with kid stuff.
Have to admit, didn't see that one coming.
We can't stop here. This is Bat Country.